Good evening, everybody, and welcome. My name is Rick Hughes here with AirgunWeb, and we have kind of an interesting show tonight. I apologize for a bit of a late start. Had some technical issues tonight that trying to get my two cameras going. I normally would have the nice AirgunWeb background back there, but for some reason the software did not want to get along tonight. So we are kind of going back to the old way, but you know, the show must go on. So what are we doing tonight? Well, we are going to be talking about our normal topics. Obviously, we're going to be talking about air guns. A couple things I want to bring up straight away. We've got a contest coming up, which I think is very cool. We're going to talk about that. We've got dynamic air rifles. Most recently, you guys were kind of saying, have I ever looked at their stuff? Am I going to get anything in? Well, I actually have one of the rifles in, have one of the scopes in. I'm pretty excited to tell you guys about my first shots with that. I was shooting with that yesterday. And then I was contacted by another compressor company that said, would you mind taking a look at our compressor and letting us know what you think of it? So I thought we would unbox that today because nothing like earth-shatteringly new in the sense of the physical looks and so forth. But the new part about it is the price point, I think, is very good for something that's all in one. We talk about compressors, and I love the little portable compressors. JTS is one of my favorite little units. Very good price point between $500 or $600. But it does have that additional box, the converter that goes with it. Not a big deal. But boy, you know, one of the reasons I like the Airgun Nomad 2 so much is it's all in one unit. You know, that one unit thing is good, but the price is $800. So, you know, you start dealing with capabilities, price point, and so forth. This little compressor, which I guess we can certainly, good evening, Gary. We can certainly jump off with this little compressor here. This is, you know, you're going to see this on, like, seems low tonight. I can turn it up a bit. Let me see here. We'll give that a shot. Just turn up a little bit. Yeah, guys, I apologize for the change in setup tonight. It's just a little bit different than I would normally do it. I'll try and see if I can get the mic a little closer. Maybe that'll help tonight. Okay. Let's see. All right, so I was talking about this compressor. The cool thing about this one is price point's about $400, and it's all in one. So it has a converter built into the chassis. So instead of having two boxes you got to carry out or carry around or have, it's just one unit. So I guess we can go ahead and start. Let me show you what we're going to be looking at here. And just so you know, in the video description, I've got links to both the compressor and also I can turn it up some more if we need to turn up some more. So we can go up there. There we go. So I got links to both the compressor and I have links to dynamic air rifles. And I have some information about their website here coming up, because I had a nice long talk with them this afternoon about their gun and some points I want to talk to you guys. All right, so everything good on the audio. Hopefully that works out good. I've shut the air conditioner off, so yes, we're still having to run the air conditioner here in West Texas. Heat at night and air conditioner during the day. What fun. Let me go ahead and switch over to Amazon real quick. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have seen this brand. They have a few different compressor types. This is the ToAuto. Look, I haven't even turned this thing on yet. I'm not saying I endorse this compressor. I'm just telling you guys about it because we're going to be looking at it. And hopefully it turns out to be as good as the paperwork says. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that it's a really good alternative. Because when I look at the price here of $400, it looks like you get an extra 20 bucks off if you use this coupon too here on the page. But when you look at the price point of $400 versus, say, the Airgun 2, which if you guys have shot or have used the Airgun Nomad 2, it's a very nice little compressor. So I don't want to take anything away from that. But hey, if we can get similar functionality for several $100 less, we got to talk about it, right? Okay. So this particular unit is it is 12 volt 110. You can see that in the picture. I've got it right here, by the way, so we are going to take it out of the box. It's 4500 psi, auto shut off. It's got the quick disconnect. It's got the parts bag with the tools or with the extra parts. It's got the filter on the end. This is what got my attention, and you guys could probably see it on the picture there, right here, is it's got its 12 volt and the 110 right there. So this is where the electronics, as far as the power delivery, is integrated into the unit. I do think some of their pictures are kind of hilarious. But anyway, beyond that. It's oil-free, water-free, so it's purely air-cooled. And so let's talk a little bit about who would want this compressor, what would you use it for. Bob, I'll get to your question here about this versus the Young Hang. The ideal use for this is not to fill bottles, and that's probably your biggest distinction there, Bob. If you're going to want to fill bottles, you need something. I would never try and fill bottles with this. This is for direct filling your air gun. So if you need something that you're going to fill a pony bottle or a larger air source, then this is not it. This is for the casual shooter that's got this sitting on their bench or this in their trunk, and they're going to go fill their gun and then hunt, or fill their gun and shoot and then come back and fill it again. This is not for filling tanks. So first off, this is a hard no on filling tanks. So big difference there. As far as the Young Hang goes, I've never worked with a Young Hang branded compressor, so I can't speak to that brand. I have worked with many that are identical to it that have maybe a different name on them, and I've had various levels of success. Sometimes they work out of the box, and as long as you don't mind having a bucket of water and dealing with all of that, knock yourself out. But they don't have a lot of moisture separation, or really any. And filtration is nil unless you have external things. So there's not a product that I personally would use to fill my guns. But if that's what you got for money, then by all means get one and use it. Just filter the air and keep an eye on it, because they do tend to put out some wet, dirty air. So besides that, knock yourself out. I know some people have had great success with them and just swear by them. Awesome. Like I said, I've never worked with a Young Hang branded one. I've just worked with a lot of them that are basically the same unit. And I think of all of the times I've taken one out of the box and tried to use it, I maybe had one that didn't need me to work on it before I could get it to work. So that's just my experience. So again, that's not a Young Hang one, but that's one that's the same single piston, water cooled, with a bucket of water thing. So anyway. Okay. So what do you say we open this bad boy up? You guys want to do that? All right, we'll move this out of the way. This was a little bit of an interesting time today, so I do apologize because of all of the... we had just a hard time getting all the cameras working. All right, so this came in another box. Shipping was pretty decent. They just sent it to me like they would send it to anyone that was ordering off of Amazon. So I don't think there was any special attention given to me specifically. It was thrown in a regular Amazon box. So there you go. Again, we're looking at about a $400 price point. We got a manual here. Ooh. All right. Okay, so here's the unit. I'm trying not to stand up, but I'm just going to try and lift this up. There it is. Okay, the rest of the box, we've got our parts, some styrofoam. As you guys can imagine, shipping is the killer when it comes to Amazon stuff. I will say this arrived in pretty good shape. It's relatively heavy, okay? So right out of the gate, let me just say this, that it does not feel lightweight. It's probably 30 pounds. And I may be off on that, but we can weigh it later. It feels pretty good. It feels like feels like you're holding something of substance here. Let's look at our bagger parts here. I'm gonna set this right over here. Okay, so first of all, we got our manual. Looks like you've got a bit of, you can't see it. Got a QR code there if you guys want to check out the video when you get it. Obviously made in China. They have a Facebook page, and maybe I can add that to the description later. But let me just pull it up here and add it to the chat. Let's see. It looks like this is well, I don't know that that's their page. Well, maybe it is. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't look like their stuff. I'm gonna have to double check the link. All right, so we'll just give that a miss. All right, so in the book, I'll say that I haven't read all of the manual, but it looks like a fairly well put together manual. They have good illustrations. Maybe if I switch cameras here. They got good illustrations, you know, show you how to do all the various bits and pieces of things, which I think is good. It is auto shut off, has a temperature on the front here. You're not supposed to go past 80. Really easy, looks like. Yeah, general maintenance. Let's see. Let me just read the maintenance part, right? Let me read this. There are no user serviceable parts inside the portable compressor. Do not disassemble the main compressor unit. However, the dry pack, desiccant medium, and its filters, the fuse and O-rings on the main connector fittings can be replaced with the spares provided as required. Okay. I don't think it actually has dry pack. I think that's kind of a oopsies. They're calling those little filters dry pack. But I don't think, I mean, maybe it's trademarked dry pack. I don't know. That seems a little, maybe not. You know, they have a test plug. We might actually, maybe we'll plug it in. I don't know. We might do that. I do like the fact that they give you a filter, at least some sort of filter here. And this is the part that you can, let me switch over this camera back here. So we have a filter here. So these are the filters you're going to be removing and replacing. Okay. I really like that they gave us a filter. I think that's cool. It stinks when you get one of these little compressors and you really do need it. You need a way to filter it. You really do. And the fact that you got it, not have to go buy one for 20 bucks or something, I think that's cool. All right, let's see here. Let me check what we got for questions here. Well, Bob, you know, I'm actually going to use this with the Origin. I've got a couple videos coming up. One, a little aside here, the dynamic air rifles have come in. So if you guys aren't familiar with their stuff, let me just switch over here. Go check them out. Dynamic air rifles. These guys here, this is the rifle I just got in. I got it in 22 caliber. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit, but this review, and also I got in the Origin without the hand pump. Both of those videos, I'm going to be working with this compressor and some other stuff as well. So one of the things I'm going to be doing is using this in a bunch of different work product to see how it does. Power cord. Let's see if I can get this thing plugged in. Let's see. I'll switch over to this screen. And here. All right. Oh, you know what? I got a plug right there. All right. Now, if for some reason I have overloaded my circuit when I plug this thing in and we die and the signal drops, I'll be back. Okay, so real quick, what I want to do, switch back over here. I'm just going to check the manual because other than opening it up earlier today and making sure that it was actually in there and not crushed by shipping, I haven't done anything with it. So I've tried turning it on. I haven't plugged it in. I just pulled it out of the box. You guys are doing this right along with me. All right, so let's go through their setup instructions because, okay, this is a really good question. So I don't know how to pronounce your name, so forgive me. But he's asking, is a compressor better than a scuba tank? Depends on the airgun and your application. In general, my suggestion is skip the tank. I say that because a lot of guns require more than a scuba tank. Okay, and I'm not talking STBA, I'm talking scuba. They require more pressure than a scuba tank can provide. So a standard aluminum tank, I have a whole bunch of them, probably 4 or 5 of them. They're 3,000 PSI. I have a steel tank that's maybe 3,300 PSI. Let's take the Air Venturi Avenger. It needs 300 bar. That's 4,350. So my scuba tanks cannot fill that. If I had an SCBA tank that's 4,500, it will fill it a couple times, but then I got to fill my tank again. So me personally, the trend, which is air guns needing more pressure, I am a fan of skip the tank. That's just me. That does mean that you probably, if you shoot a lot, that means you probably need to get a good compressor, and the lower, the low end is probably not where you want to be looking. If you're a casual shooter, then I really think skipping the tank is the way to go. That's me personally. Dave, if they can come up with something that has enough volume to actually give you that's reasonable, it's possible. I know people really want the self-sufficiency without having to have a compressor, and something like the Air Venturi, the Seneca Aspen, for example, or you guys talk about the Nova Liberty, Freedom, whatever it is. That and a pistol might be fun, but you got such a small cylinder. I wonder how useful it would be personally. All right, instructions. All right, it can run on 240, 110, or 12 volt. Never start the portable compressor without first having started its cooling fan, page 6. So we've got a little instruction on how to turn that on. Somewhere. I think you plug it in, the fan comes on. I think that's how that works. So it's going to be hard to start it without that. Okay. It's designed. Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. It says this is designed to directly fill air guns with an integral cylinder up to 0.5 or 500 cc volume. If it's larger than that, you're going to damage your bottle or damage your compressor. So if you have a gun that has, if you got a gun that is say a 580 cc bottle, that's going to be too much volume for this to try and fill. So that's a no-no. So you want to do under 500 cc. Don't overcharge your gun. We got that. It has a maximum charge of 300 bar, which is not 4,500. It's less than, but they're saying it can go to 4,500. So a little math is off a little bit there. Always adhere to the manufacturer's limits on your gun. We know that. Has an automatic pressure stop. We'll test it. It's called the Air Rover in the manual. That's kind of cool. Air Rover. I like it. Use it in a well-ventilated space. Do not disassemble the unit. So there's nothing there talking about break-in or any of that other stuff. What do you say we turn this thing on, eh? All right. Oh. Did I mention it's a little heavy? All right. All right, here we go. We have our fuse here. You guys can see that. So we got our temperature gauge here. We've got our 12-volt connector. Fuse, it looks like it's screwed in. Looks like that's the compressor. It looks like you've got an intake here, which is filtered. This is your emergency relief valve, a blow-off valve. It did come with some spare little of the little bits, the little flat discs if you need to replace that. Nothing on the bottom. Okay, a pressure gauge. So why don't we start off at a modest 2,000 psi. You want to start there? Do a modest 2,000 psi. Let's say you got. All right, here we go. All right, We are a humming. So now, wow, that's a lot of air. Okay. I wanted to talk to you without that fan going. That is a lot of air. I mean, a whole lot of air coming out. That is, and not an insignificant fan. That is really moving some air. Okay, so we've got, show you what I'm doing here. I got the little bag of goodies here. I got a test plug. I got our filter here. Whenever you're putting this in, you know, guys, always make sure these collars lock. It really is no fun when these things pop off. All right. We're going to start to 2,000 PSI. As always, when you start up a compressor, make sure your bleeder is open. Don't try and start it with it. Don't try and start it with the bleed valve shut. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. All right. That was a short fill to 2,000. Let's go ahead and run it to 300 bar. And we'll call that enough testing for tonight. JDP, I don't know your experience. I don't know which one you got. Obviously, the Trail Charger, I would agree, is a higher end unit. It's, you know, almost 3 times the money too. So apples to apples and so forth. And I'll be curious what you're trying to fill. This is my first experience with it. All of these, I always take all of these compressors with a grain of salt, right? So I'm not getting paid for this other than they did send it to me for me to try out and play with. That's the extent of my relationship at this point. I always take them with a grain of salt because I actually want to use them. I want to run them through some tests. I want to fill a bunch of guns with them. This will sit on my bench, and I'll use this for my bench compressor for a period of time. And we'll just see how it goes. And, you know, I'll know pretty quickly as I'm filling guns and bottles and so forth. I mean, tanks, not like scuba bottles, but airgun bottles. As I'm filling the bottles, I'll know pretty quickly if this is something that's actually going to hold up, at least for me. So I have no idea about their other models, but the way it feels in the we could, you know, I'm not going to pop the hood and look under it here. It feels and looks good, at least so far. All right. I've got it set on 300 bar, which is right there at the limit. Let's see here. Go ahead and plug it in. Those fans really ramp. I mean, it's loud because the mic is like that far, right? So here's the mic, here's the compressor. So it's going to be really, really loud. But let's see here. the burst disc blue. We'll replace that later. Well, there you go. So I will replace the burst disc a little bit later. I'm not going to do that tonight, but I'll replace it and we'll take another stab at it here later. So it went to, yep, it went to right at 300 bar, and the burst disc let go. So we'll give that a shot, as I said, another day, and go from there. As far as JDP, you know, you obviously have a bad taste in your mouth with the brand. If you had one that was like the Young Hang with the single piston with the bucket of water, I've had those blow up on me too, or not on me, but I had those blow up on a customer of mine. The only reason it blew up is because he failed to replace the oil, sealed oil cap with the breather cap, and it blew the whole gauge, or that whole assembly right off the front. So there you go. Anyway, this isn't a public forum to talk about the merits of that particular brand, but I did want to show you guys a compressor. So we'll take a look at that a little bit later. Again, I'm pretty sure that the burst disc blew when it hit 300 bar. We'll give it a shot, check it out later, and go from there. All right, so let's talk about the DAR, and we've got David's got a question. What kind of compressor fills tanks? Look, if you're going to fill tanks a lot, let me look at this real quick. I'll show you a couple. So let's go over to Pyramid Air. This is what Angie uses. Just love their search function. Nope, none of those are what I want. There it is. Okay, this one we want this guy right here. Okay, so this is the compressor if you've got a limited budget and you're going to be filling tanks. I like this compressor. It's got some good features. If you can see right there, that coil is actually really important because it helps cool the air as it goes into the condensing tower, which actually helps remove some of the moisture, helps deal with some things as you're filling bottles or guns. This is what Airgun Angie uses. She's had this for, well, she had one for 3 years, and right where the motor and the compressor join, that drive shaft actually sheared. Don't know why that happened. She's got a new one. She's going through that whole, the whole set it up, use it. There's actually done a video of that already. So this is what I would say fills bottles. Now, I would not use this to fill more than maybe top off a bottle a couple times a week. If you're going to be doing more than that, I mean, you're going to be like topping a bottle off maybe every day, or you're going to be filling bottles from empty, I think you need to go to the next level. I think you need to look at something like, well, the Daystate's great. Issue kind of with the Daystate now is they've got a new plug that requires you to rewire your house, which isn't great. Okay, so one of the ones that I've used, I actually have used these personally. Let me see if I can, I think I might have it on my website. Let me pull it up here. Let's see. The refurbished ones, I guess. All right, so this guy here, this compressor is a full-on, if you notice, it's got two towers. We don't have any other pictures, so I apologize. But it's got a tower here and a tower here. These guys have worked really well for me. These are 3.5 cubic feet per minute. Has a true breathing air quality. Refurbished, they're $1,700 plus freight. And then you're looking at like a new one, maybe $2,000 or $2,500, depending on which model you get. You can also go to the 220 Daystate, or if you really want to go like and just have a lot. Let's see if I even have them. Okay, if I took them, I still have them on the site or not. Yeah, I took it off. Not because they're not good, it's just I can't afford to stock them. The Alkin compressors are phenomenal. So I've done a video on that whole unit. Yeah, so this video here, I actually go through and talk about the Alkin. It's expensive, but that is really worth that. That's what you want. If you're going to be filling a lot of bottles regularly, the Alkin is really the way to go. This is a video I did here of that.
This is a
well, no, that's an ad.
real B&H customer story.
Yada, 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 yada. Let's go on. Come on. There we go. So this one here is a gas version of the SCU-100 I was showing you just a minute ago. So this is the brand new units. And as I said, they're $2,400. Let's see some more pictures of it here. But this one, actually, this is an old one. This one doesn't have the 2 cylinders. But this is 110. This is a nice compressor for the money. I've found these to be really good. Anyway, so there you go. Hopefully that is helpful as far as the compressor information goes. All right, let's zip over back here. So let's talk about. First of all, do I have any? Let's see. Yeah, Heath is saying the price of compressors have come way down. Yeah, since I first started, oh my gosh, yes, like way down. Let's see. Yeah, as far as the Omega Trail Charger, it's a really nice compressor. It's just, it is expensive. So as far as what you're getting, because it really, you can fill small bottles with it, just takes forever. Anyway, let's see. Heath, I'm glad your Nomad 2 is working well. That is kind of a really good unit, and so is the JTS. If you guys have looked at the JTS compressors at all, I'm going to get back to DAR here in a minute. We have a bunch of these in stock. This guy right here. We have the newer model, which has the window on the other side. This one has, you guys can't see what I'm looking at. There. So we have this. We have the newer model of this, but this is a really nice little compressor. It is, meant for filling guns. Now we have filled the small pony bottles with this, and it holds up really well. As far as I haven't had one of these fail on me. I've had a couple come back, but it was a faulty board. Not the compressor was fine. The board went out on it. So there are electronics involved. So, but this is a cool little compressor. This one's not bad priced at the $5.79 free shipping from us anyway. It doesn't come with the little filter. You buy that extra. But anyway, so that's not a bad one if you're just filling guns. And I use that as much as I use my trail charger. I use the little JTS, and I haven't seen any difference. They both just keep chugging. So as far as durability, I think JTS is right up there. All right, let's see. I was going to talk about DAR. Let's see if there any. Let's see, any other questions? Yeah, Heath, again, if you're right, if you got $3,500 laying around, the Alkin's the way to go. I bought my Alkin. I fill a big 5-foot steel tank. Alkin's rated for continuous duty. That's why I got it. And it's been a great unit. All right, so let's talk about the DAR rifles. So let me see if I can pull up their website here. Okay, so this is the DAR. Now, I don't know if they have great pictures of the product on the product page. Let's see. Okay, they do. Let's take a look at this. All right, so I just got the DAR in, and here's what I can tell you. Man, it really feels good. The fit and finish, build quality, the weight I expected to be much heavier than it is. It's actually relatively light as far as I'm concerned. It just really feels nice. It's all metal and wood that I can tell. Excuse me, I haven't gotten deep into it. But just holding it, looking at it, feeling the trigger, it all really feels like a really nice gun. One of the things that really surprised me is that, first of all, it's regulated. It does have some limited power adjustment by adjusting the... Bob, it's a good question. I'm going to get to that, so stay with me. It does have some power adjustability, some minor tweaking you can do via the hammer spring. So you do have to take it out of the stock. There's one screw, and you can adjust the hammer spring. When I was talking to them today, and I really wanted to kind of let them know my first thoughts didn't line up with what they saw the rifle being, and we were like right in sync. So its fit and finish is very good. The weight is very nice. It's not heavy. I don't find it heavy at all. I think it's lighter than a wood Marauder, I would believe, for sure. It is the feel of the material feels very high-end to me. Is it AirArms high-end? No. Is it more like Diana Outlaw feeling? Yeah, it sort of feels like that. And I really liked that gun. So I had nothing... I mean, I really think that was a great gun, but that gun's, what, $500? And this, we're looking here at the website here, we are $300 for this gun. And right now, they're covering shipping, by the way. So, and even though it says out of stock for 22s and 25s, they told me today they actually have a couple hundred of each model. So if you guys are looking for one of these rifles, definitely go check them out. But, all right, so we've got a gauge in the front. Now, this is one of those guns where is actually ideal for maybe a scuba tank or a little portable compressor. It's a 250cc cylinder. It only needs 3,000 psi though, so that is huge. Instead of needing 4,500 or 3,600, you only need 3,000 psi. So if you have an aluminum tank, you're going to get a lot of use out of that tank with this gun. That's kind of cool. See you later, Angie. Let's see. Stock is a hardwood, very nice stock. I wish I could better describe to you the fit and finish of what you're looking here, because the metal feels really, really nice. It doesn't feel cheap or... when we were talking today, we were talking about in manufacturing, a lot of companies sort of skimp on that last 5% to make something that much better. And that's the 5% that bites you in the ass when the customer gets it. And it really looks like they're doing that 5%. That extra little bit to make sure it's tight, to make sure it doesn't leak, to make sure all of the things that you need it to do so that it is going to deliver on the range. That is what it wants to do for you. Light speed, I don't know what to tell you. Other people have said the audio is fine, so I've got good audio levels here. So guys, if it's not loud enough, I've got a little room left to go to turn it up, but I'm almost all the way up here. All right. Thanks, Bob. All right, so the other thing it has here, I thought this was pretty cool. This is one of those little teeny features that, to me, add that little extra 5%. So it's got a cocking lever, obviously. It's very smooth, but they've actually got recessed magnets here so that when the cocking lever goes back, it's actually, it sits nice and snug. So I think that's awesome. Again, the hardwood stock, I think we're looking at an ambidextrous stock here. Yeah, so it's righty or lefty. Cocking is going to be right-handed only. The trigger, now this is one of the things where I think they could do a little better with the trigger. Trigger pulls, I'm thinking between 3 or 4 pounds. I haven't used my pull meter on it yet, so maybe I'm off there. Maybe a little bit less. I'm kind of going higher than I think it probably is. Now they did say it's adjustable. The second stage geometry is adjustable, so you could change the pull on the second stage, which that may be all it needs. I noticed that when I was shooting it yesterday, it felt just a little bit harder than I would like it. It wasn't by any means gritty or chunky or anything like that. It was very smooth. It was just the second stage was longer than I would have liked. So that is adjustable though. So that would be one of the first things I do to see how the gun does. The other thing that I really liked about the gun was the magazine. It comes with one magazine. Then they will have more they are out of magazines right now, but they will have some magazines available shortly and the magazines are like 20 bucks, 20, 25 bucks, and they're metal. They're metal, they're smooth, they have super smooth operation. The other thing he was telling me, and I'll verify this in my video when I hopefully hope to shoot the video this week and have a review ready next week. A JDP on the Beeman Commander, excellent gun. Maybe we can talk about that here in a second. That's a very good gun. The magazine's super nice. I got to shoot this yesterday, and they were saying that it's not pellet picky. Well, I didn't test a lot of pellets. I tested some Hades. I just grabbed a couple tins, the first tins I had. So the Hades shot fine. The 16 grain FIREARMS shot fine, and I was shooting my little 4-inch quadrant target at 100 yards with this, and it was 10 for 10 on the target. I wasn't dialing in on the 1-inch spinner yet. Of course, I hadn't even put it on paper. I'm just kind of eyeballing it and playing with the scope. They sent me one of their new scopes. Well, I don't know if it's new, but they sent me one of their scopes. Let's see if they have it here. It was, I forgot the name of it. I'll put it in the link. But it's one of their top tier scopes, and it looks like they might have fixed their site. Let's see. Yes, they did. Look at that. Okay, because when I looked earlier, these were out of stock. I emailed them. They got it sent. They got it taken care of. So if you guys want to order, do so. This is only direct from them. You can't buy from me or buy from Pyramid Air. You buy direct from DAR, and they're direct to consumer. So I think that's kind of cool. It's one of the reasons they can keep the price so low. Because I think if they had another layer in the chain, this is easily a $500 gun. Easily a $500 gun. Absolutely. I think you could go toe-to-toe with a Marauder with this all day. I think this is maybe a little nicer. It is... let's see, we got some questions here. It's dovetail only, so it's a dovetail mounts. Let's see. The hammer is adjustable. Yes, you can adjust the hammer spring. That's really your adjustment that you have. It does come with a bunch of extra O-rings, so if you find that you need to reseal it over, in the future, you have a kit to do that, I think, already. Uses a little fill probe to fill it, and let's see. We got some stats here. They're talking about 900 feet per second, which sounds about what I would have said it was. It is regulated, which I thought was cool for the price point. Yeah, AIM, thank you, AIM Sports. The scope they sent me is their about $300 scope. I think like MSRP is $350, but it was a 4.5 to 27, and it was very, very, very good. The reg is not adjustable. I mean, it's not user adjustable. Let me put it that way. What people may do with their gun when they get it and how they want to use it at some point in time, that obviously I leave up to the user. But as far as the Avenger with a little screw in the bottom, no, it's not adjustable like that. Now, where would I put this like to the Avenger? I think the fit and finish and quality, the material quality, feels nicer on the DAR, personally. But I've had no issues with the Avenger, so feel may not be that big of a deal. The Avenger certainly has a wonderfully adjustable regulator, a hammer spring, all of those things. If you're a tweaker and you want to tweak your air gun and that's what you live for, this may not be the one you want. If you are a shooter and you just want to take something out and shoot it, this may be what you want. And I think what's really going to make that determination is when I get down to the range and actually put some pellets through it. Because what they were telling me is that it's not pellet picky. One of the pellets they say it shoots very well is across from Premier Hollow Points. And if that's the case, well, that in and of itself is kind of cool, because those pellets I can go to Walmart and actually buy those. So if that works, and I have some, I'll definitely be shooting them. If that works, then this might be a very great little hunting gun for folks that just want a solid, they don't want to tinker, you just want a gun that shoots. This is very cool. The other thing I really like, and I'm going to go back, I want to go back to the field pressure. So this operates at 3,000 PSI. You get 30 shots on the reg. The fact that you don't need to go to 4,300 to see shot count, I think that is very cool. So I really like the fact that you don't have to go beyond that 3,000 PSI mark to get good shot count. And they were telling me that the regulator is very good. I will see. I haven't put it over the chronograph yet. Like I said, all I did was shoot it, and I was able to keep it on my little 4-inch quadrant target at 100 yards without any issues. So for me, that was pretty good. I'm looking forward to really putting it on paper and see what it'll do. So there you go. Yeah, I don't know where people are having an issue on the mic. Some people say it's fine. Other people say they can't hear me. So mic is all the way up. I don't know what to tell you. I've got solid levels on my end. So maybe one of these days I'll switch to a headset or something, and maybe that'll work better. I don't know. Well, guys, we're sitting at 7:22. We've got, let me see if I got any questions here. Yeah, Lightspeed, I've got, he's saying he thinks Avenger wood quality is better, the quality is better. You know, this is one of those subjective, very subjective things. I have both guns. I've only got a little time with the DAR, but I'll have a lot more time, and we'll see how it does over time, and we'll go from there. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, I don't know the volume. Some people seem to have trouble with it, so I don't know. I could probably switch to a headset, and I just hate wearing them. But I'm happy to do it if it helps you guys hear better. So let's see. I think that's going to be about it. I will have some updated information on. I have some information on the compressor once I replace that burst disc, and we'll go from there. Maybe it had a faulty burst disc from the factory, but in any case, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's a little bit early, but we'll call it a night, guys. The last thing I didn't want to talk about. We do have a contest coming up. I showed you guys this last week. There we go. So, Umarex, because of customer demand, come on, let's get over there. Let's see here. Well, looks like the website's being a bit of a fit. So let me just tell you about it. Okay, so Umarex, now it's working. Umarex came out with their Origin, and they came out with the Origin without a hand pump. Here it is. It's this picture right here. They have sent me one. They've actually sent me the Origin with the rifle only 22 caliber that we're going to be giving away at Gateway to Airgun. So expect that. Expect a grip review of the gun only as the gun only. So I've looked at the Origin in the past as the gun and hand pump combination. Now I'm going to look at it as just the gun. How does just the gun fit in this market? So that'll be an interesting. I haven't really thought about how that will work, but I'm going to look at it from that perspective at this price point, and we'll go from there and see how it does. I like the Origin personally, just full stop as a gun, so with or without the pump. But we've got some entry level guns now. We've got the Avenger at $300 if you get the synthetic. I think it's more now, $320, $340. We've got maybe $350 actually. And then we've got the DAR, which is $300. And we've got the Origin, which is right around $300. So we've got some really nice PCPs that shoot pretty well right in that price point. So, you know, these are some videos I'm going to be doing. If you want to see these videos, I'll have some of them will go on AirgunWeb, but I'm also going to have versions for Gateway to Airguns called Grip Reviews, which are going to be a little bit different slant. Probably a lot more technically oriented than the other videos. So I'll have more technical data is my goal there, given the enthusiasts that join or are part of the GTA. But when I'm done my video, I'm going to be giving the gun away, or Umarex gave it to me to give away through the GTA. So I'm talking with some other folks to see if we can add a couple things to the bundle. Be a really nice holiday sort of gift pack for somebody. So be ready and be you know, paying attention. I'll be mentioning and have links and stuff of when we're going to be giving this thing away. But I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, so the Origin as a gun by itself without the hand pump, gosh, I like the Origin. It's a great little gun. Let's see, there's a follow-up few things here. Let's see. AEA versus Hot Sun, that would be interesting, I should say. Let's see. No, JDP, you're not the only one that loves the Gauntlet 2 and 25. I absolutely love that gun. I can't wait to get my own. That is a phenomenally good gun, and when you're looking at 96 shot count on the reg, I mean, really, that's amazing what they've done with that gun. I would agree probably the Avenger triggers can be better than the DAR, but I haven't tweaked the DAR yet, so we'll see. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think what we're looking at right now in the industry, guys, first things on prices, guys, please note that everything coming from China now is very expensive. It's gone way up. So where prices may have been significantly less before, prices are going to go up. As you can see in our economy right now, prices are going up. I mean, just freight costs. I mean, I shipped an order. I shipped a bunch of orders today, and a bunch of orders from the pro shop going out today, and we're losing on average $20 to $40 per order on shipping. I mean, we charge something for shipping, but if you bought a gun and compressor from me and said, all right, I'm going to need $130 to ship it, you guys would, I mean, consumers, I should say, you guys may be fine with it, but consumers absolutely will lose their mind. But that's what it costs to ship. It's really expensive. So expect pricing. Somebody's got to pay that. So I know the companies aren't going to eat it, so they're going to pass it on to us. So expect prices to be higher and probably stay higher for a period of time. We'll see. Cool. Guys, if you haven't visited over the GTA and checked out the ARC, read them later. Okay, so we have this. It's called the Airgun Repository of Knowledge. I like things like that because I like to make words and letters mix. But we call it the Airgun ARC. And this is where we've got a bunch of videos that we've been posting my stuff. Gary down here, Casino 7095, he's got some stuff he's posting in here too. So check it out. And if you're a content creator and you want a place to post your stuff that isn't going to rip it down because, you know, you look sideways at the camera holding a gun or something, you know, let us know because we can work with you so you can post your stuff here. All right, guys, that's going to be it. We're going to call it a night, and we're at 7:30. So I started a little late, but I'm going to end a little bit early. Thank you guys for joining us tonight, and I'll let you know how things work out with this compressor and the DAR and the Origin. But if you guys have any questions, you can always reach out. I look forward to that next week, and I believe Travis should be, I think he might be in Texas back now. I know he was packing and moving, and I didn't want to, you know, put him on the spot to try and come up tonight. But hopefully he'll be back in Texas, and he'll be up with us next week. And so we'll be able to do the Airgun guys again every other week. So that's going to be it for now. Guys, again, thanks for watching. Links to the stuff we talked about today is in the video description. If you like what we got going on, please do like, subscribe, share it, all that kind of stuff. It really helps us out. That's going to be it for now. Thanks, guys. Yeah, Dave, the hour goes very fast, doesn't it? Stay safe, everybody.